Well, hi, everyone. I am Sherry Hoyt with Reader Views, and I'm here with my colleague, Susan Violante. And we are joined today by authors Bineta Ngom and Marjorie Anderson. Hello, ladies.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hi,
Hello.
Sherry. Hi, Susan. How are you?
Hello. Good. How are you?
Good.
Doing
Good to
good.
be here.
So we're doing this as a panel today because we're launching, we're celebrating the launch of our new traditional publishing division for indie authors, and you are our first two authors. And so I wanted to ask Susan if you would just tell our listeners a little bit about I Have Something to Say Press.
This book launch has been a long time coming, as it has been a long, arduous journey and dream of us, as one of the founders of I Have Something to Say Press. I don't know if you know this, but I was born and raised in Venezuela from Italian immigrants and completed a BA in political science administration before moving the US. But even though writing was not my career at that time, I've always been writing and publishing since 1996. I have always been a believer that we as humans evolve by learning from our experiences. And since the beginning of the human race, we have done so by sharing our life lessons through storytelling. Unfortunately, the traditional publishing has not done a great job representing all the different voices of our society. This is why I Have Something to Say Press has focused on publishing the unheard voices. So our mission is to promote the sharing of life lessons through storytelling by focusing our publishing efforts to produce high quality product, as well as facilitating workshops to independent authors to help them develop marketable books with the current available tools. Our program currently allows 2 books per year and inclusion in our monthly magazine, First Chapter Plus. If any of you are interested in submitting any book ideas or articles for our magazine, email us at admin@ihavesomethingtosaypress.com. We decided to publish Becoming an Angel of Change and Clave because of their message, the writing quality, and the need of their message into our society. And so I was very excited when their books came into our lab and we took them as our launching books. So in a way, Bineta and Marjorie are co-authors, founders of I Have Something to Say Press. And it's awesome that we can celebrate together today.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sherry.
Yeah. And we're so excited because we met both of you through Reader Views. You submitted your original books for review. And then I went on to work with Bineta to edit her book. And then Marjorie went on with Susan to translate the key into Spanish. So we've got a little history there. So, I mean,
Yeah.
You ladies are, you're part of our family. So
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So I want to introduce Bineta first. She's going to talk about her book. She is the author of Becoming an Angel of Change, Life-Changing Stories to help you discover your strength, your uniqueness, and your purpose. Welcome, Bineta.
Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to write Becoming an Angel of Change?
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to thank you all of you ladies, and I Have Something to Say Press for giving us the opportunity to share our stories. It's been an awesome journey with you ladies. It was very inspiring working with you, and I really appreciate it. And I thank Marjorie also for joining the team, all of us trying to make a change here. So thank you so much. So to come to your question, I'm so happy to answer this question. What inspired me to write my book is just to make a change. As an immigrant in the United States of America, life is different from where you came from. And I wrote this book for immigrants, many people who are here, probably suffering from leaving their families this book will tell you that I think it's just about change. That's why you came from there to here. So instead of just focusing on the pain of what you left behind, focus on the opportunity, because this is the country of opportunity. So if you have the opportunity to be here, take advantage of it. So, and that inspired me to share my stories since the beginning of my life, to my stories in America and the lesson I learned, to help people see themselves into those stories to make change.
Yeah. Wow. Now, what do you hope that readers most take away from reading your book?
I hope readers will find their purpose, because purpose is your guidance. Purpose will bring discipline to your life, because now you have something to do. Now you are crafting a vision. You have a destination. So you're going to stay away from distraction. And sometimes people don't understand that. They don't know that. They think they're supposed to follow people. They think they don't have a choice to do whatever they want to do. But the number one thing I want readers to take from my book is to find their purpose, because when you find your purpose, you become stronger and you know why you are here on earth. So I hope by reading my book, a person will relate to my stories and will find their way of doing things in life to make change.
Yeah, yeah. And Bineta is so inspirational. I mean, I enjoyed reading and editing and her book and working with her. It's just, she is the most positive person I think I've met in a long, long time.
Thank you.
And we do need that today. So
yeah, thank you.
What did you learn about yourself writing and publishing this book?
I learned that I have power. I didn't know that. I didn't know that I can wake up in the morning and do what I want to do. I thought I just have to do what people are doing. But I thank God for this opportunity to be able to think about myself, my life, and how can I share it to help someone else also see themselves. I'm an important creator of God as a human being, and I can do a lot of things on earth to make change. I can do a lot of things to be happy and to help other people also to be happy and find their way. That's the power I found, like my potential. What can I do on earth? Am I just here to follow people? Am I just here to just whine and think about my problem? No, I am here to bring change. I am here to make a difference in other people's life. And unless I know myself, unless I found my potential, I don't think I'm going to be able to help someone else. So the first thing first is yourself, to find yourself, to love yourself, to recreate yourself, and then to move on to help someone else do that.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if you could read a little section of your book for us.
Yes, the section I will read is what changed my life. It's on page 144. We have the power of choice. We all have the power to choose our thoughts. We can live a life of appreciation, happiness, joy, mindfulness, and fulfillment, regardless of our circumstances. Or we can choose to be miserable, frustrated, unfulfilled, and ungrateful, and live a life of mediocrity that ensues from that negative energy. When you understand that you have this power, you can control anything in your life. I link this to faith, to believing in the unseen, to believing that everything will be fine. Even if you are going through a difficult period, you can take solace in knowing that it's only a moment in time and it will come to pass. So by believing in that, I gain power, I gain clarity. I'm like, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be fine. I'm not going to focus on my problem or my son that I'm missing or my life behind. I'm going to focus on my vision and on my future. Right. So I can create something in my life. This is so powerful, and it helped me so much during my transformation.
Well, thank you, Bineta, for sharing that with us. Thanks. And we'll have time for a few questions later. So I guess, Susan, shall we move on to Marjorie right now? Do you want to add anything?
Sure. Let's move, and then we'll go back into general questions for both of them.
Okay.
So let's move to Marjorie. Go ahead and you can introduce her and then I'll translate in Spanish.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Yeah. So Marjorie Anderson, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure.
Yeah. Marjorie is the author of La Clave, which is the Spanish translation of her award-winning book, The Key. And it's a financial basic knowledge book for teens to help them learn how to manage their finances. And it provides also tips on how to manage their money as well. So financial and money management. Marjorie, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to, what inspired you to write The Key? And then also tell us why you decided to translate it into Spanish.
Okay. Well, first, let me introduce myself. Hello, everyone. I am Marjorie Anderson. I'm originally from the Virgin Islands. I've lived in the United States pretty much all my adult life. Having been educated in Baltimore, I lived in Pennsylvania for over 30 years. And I came to the Texas, where I currently live, to be close to my family. My background is banking and finance. I've spent the better part of my career in banking. I've worked for several major and regional banks in the Virgin Islands, in Philadelphia. And, I have all this knowledge. I felt that I had all this financial knowledge and it seemed like I needed to do something with it. And inspiration hit me one day while I was here in Georgetown in Texas. And something hit me. I need to translate compile or compose or author a book for teenagers. So I talked to my grandson, who was a teenager at the time and in junior high school. And so I used him as a sounding board. And because of him, I was able to get the ideas of, what they didn't know, even though he lived with me. And so because of him, I did some research and with other students and came up with the book, The Key, which is the English translation. And you see the logo in the back of my picture there, before translating it into Spanish, but we'll talk about the translation in a few minutes. I think that writing the Key gave me a lot of insight in terms of what teenagers did not know and what they need to know. And I found out that this subject of personal money management is not being taught in our high schools. And so the kids are not aware and knowledgeable about how to manage their finances. And they go off to college and, get married, and they don't have that financial background unless they are majoring in college in business or finance. And not everyone majors in finance, but we all need to manage our money. So
right.
I thought this was a need that I needed to fill. So I wrote the book in English, The Key, Wise Money Choices for Teens. And I've since taught quite a few classes with the local community, recreation center, church schools, and community centers on the subject, and it was well attended. And so that was one way of me sharing the information that I have. I know that adults need this information as well, but I figured why not catch the young teens before they become adults and get themselves into financial debt. And so that's what motivated me to target my book for teens.
Yeah. And yeah, because I wasn't aware that, it seems like kids these days don't even know how to write a check, not that they really need to anymore, but balance a checkbook, no way,
Amen.
Yeah. But like, I think what you said, there's a lot of good lessons for adults in that book as well. So why did you translate it into Spanish?
Yeah, so just recently, I said, there's a Spanish speaking population, an immigrant population that are also students. And this population also work in the United States, worked in Texas. Texas is a hot spot for the immigrant population. And it was just the ideal ideal time to write this book, because there are lots of young Hispanics and Spanish-speaking students that don't really understand how our financial system truly works in the United States. And I think they need to be educated just as well as the English-speaking population. And so that there was another need that I felt needed to be filled. And so I got a hold of Suzanne, or she got a hold of me. And we came up with translating this book into Spanish, which is ideal because now I can present it to the Spanish-speaking population as well as the English-speaking population. And I know that I'm going to read a verse or two from a chapter or two, or maybe a paragraph or two from the La Clave, which is the Spanish translation, but I'll let Susan lead me into that.
Okay.
And I want to say that I was fortunate enough to help you with that, Marjorie.
Thank
and,
you.
Yeah, and I, you know, just to put a little grain of sand into what you've been saying. When I first came to the U.S. in 1989, I was baffled by the debit card and how you could use it in the supermarket. So that gives you an idea of what immigrants go through, and the culture shock and the technology shock that they go through when they come here.
Yeah.
I actually want to take the opportunity to translate now what she has talked about.
Okay.
Antes que nada, les quiero dar la bienvenida a todos nuestros hispanos, que está la audiencia hispana que nos está viendo en este momento. Quiero presentar a Marjorie Anderson. Ella es la escritora que salió con el libro en inglés llamado The Key, y yo tuve la fortuna y el honor de traducir en español, y ahora la versión español se llama La Clave, y el nombre completo es La Clave, sabias alternativas sobre el manejo del dinero para adolescentes. Ella es de las Islas Vírgenes y ha tenido una carrera muy de ejecutiva muy buena en Estados Unidos, en Filadelfia y en las mismas Islas Vírgenes. Ella ha sido ejecutiva bancaria y cofundadora de exdirectora ejecutiva del Greater Philadelphia Minority Business Strategic Alliance. Tiene una licenciatura en Ciencias en Administración de Empresas de la Universidad Estatal de Morgan, una maestría en Ciencias de Administración de la Universidad La Salle, y se graduó del programa Gestión Escolar en Wharton de la Universidad de Pensilvania. Su libro The Key es un ganador del premio Reader Views Literary Awards, y Marjorie vive actualmente en Texas, en Liberty Hills. Ella se inspiró en escribir este libro porque tenía a su nieto que vivía con ella, y él era un adolescente, y entonces fue cuando se dio cuenta de la necesidad, hablando con sus compañeros estudiantes, de la necesidad que había en poder enseñar a los adolescentes a manejar su dinero, para evitar que se vivieran una vida de adulto endeudado. Se inspiró en traducirlo en español porque se dio cuenta de la cantidad de estudiantes adolescentes de familias que vienen aquí como inmigrantes, y se dio cuenta de la necesidad de la enseñanza sobre las finanzas que ellos también tenían. Y así con esto concluyo todo lo que ella ha venido diciendo. Yo como inmigrante también, siendo adulta y viniendo a Estados Unidos, este libro me hubiera ayudado muchísimo también. Así que acepté el trabajo de traducción y le ofrecí a ella publicarlo en I Have Something to Say Press, precisamente porque me di cuenta de lo que esto podría ayudar a nuestros jóvenes. Y bueno, now Marjorie, it's your turn to continue, I guess, or Sherry.
Okay.
Thank you, Sherry. Sherry. I would like to read just maybe two paragraphs from my book, The Key, and it's under the heading, The Importance of Creating a Budget. A budget is very important as part of the financial management, anyone's managing their finances. So here we go. Creating a budget is quite possibly the biggest key to staying afloat financially. For one thing, making and keeping a budget requires money discipline. You're going to need to manage your money, or you're going to end up in debt. If you don't take a step back and look at how much you have, and how much you're spending, you'll most likely spend what you don't have. So how do you manage a budget? How do you make a budget, I should say? Where do you start? Well, you start out by totaling all of the money you take in for the month. If you have more than one job, for example, or your parents give you a commission or an allowance, you will need to add all that up. That is the total amount you can spend for that month without going into debt. I'm going to end here for right now.
Okay, thank you.
Si yo quisiera traducir lo que Marjorie ya leyó, es una porción de su libro, la página 32 de este libro, es la importancia de crear un presupuesto. Crear un presupuesto es posiblemente la mayor clave para seguir a flote financieramente. Por un lado, crear y mantener un presupuesto requiere disciplina en el manejo del dinero. Vas a tener que administrar tu dinero o quedarás endeudado. Si no das un paso hacia atrás y observas cuánto tienes y cuánto estás gastando, lo más probable es que gastes lo que no tienes. ¿Cómo puedes crear un presupuesto? ¿Por dónde puedes comenzar? Puedes empezar sumando todo el dinero que recibes durante el mes. Si tienes más de un solo trabajo o tus padres te regalan dinero o mesada, tendrás que agregar la misma suma a todo eso. Ese resultado es el monto total que puedes gastar en el mes sin endeudarte.
Amen. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad Marjorie read first because I don't speak a word of Spanish. Oh, goodness. So I guess we can ask now just some general questions if you have any, Susan. Do you want to talk about?
Yes. For both of you, I would like to share what is the most important thing that you learn about yourself throughout this journey with us during the publication. And you can start, Bineta.
Thank you so much, Susan. The most important thing I learned by working with you, ladies, beautiful ladies, is that no matter what you're doing, you need a team.
Mm-hmm.
You need a team. I was not here. I was working by myself for so long, but things started to change when I met you two.
Aww.
So especially meeting people who can understand what you want to reveal or what you want to share, it makes a big difference. And that's what happened here. I don't know why I chose Sherry when I was looking for an editor. God guide me through her, and this is what's happening right now.
Oh.
And now you are giving me the opportunity to share my message, to have my book here, and people can order it, and we can have so many things coming up, create so many things coming up to help people. So that's amazing. So whatever you do in life, if you want to make it big, make sure you have a team. And when you look for a team, look for the right people, not just the people who are there because that's their job, but people who care about
Amen.
what you're doing.
Right. And Marjorie, how about you?
I want to echo what Bineta has just said. I mean, I submitted my book to Reader's View, and I was so happy and overjoyed and fortunate to win an award. And I had someone already lined up to translate this book. And when Susan reached out, I said, oh my God, I need to have Susan do this. I mean, I wonder if I can get out of my contract with this other person. It was very flexible. So it wasn't something that I got in trouble with. But right away, I know it took us a little while because we were new at this, but I felt it was well worth it working with you both, and especially with Susan, because sometimes illness comes up and life happens and you have to take a pause. And I was willing to do that. I was not in any hurry per se. And Susan was willing and ready to work with me at my pace. And I was willing to wait with her, during her time. And so we have been working together. And that's what I like about it, because I think she believes in my book, believes in what the message. And Bineta said, don't choose someone, that's their job, but choose someone who's going to, express and decipher the message that you're trying to convey. They have a personal interest in what you're saying, and I found that in Reader's View. And now that we're going to, I have something to say, press. I'm really excited, to be able to be one of the first publishers or book authors that she's used, both Bineta and myself, to help launch that press. So I think it's going to work out well because we're a team here. We've always worked as a team. Hope that future authors join and take on. Come to I Have Something to Say press will understand what they get when they come there. So I thoroughly enjoy using you guys. Learned so much along the way. What I learned about myself in the process is that I'm an author. I didn't think that I could write books. I mean, I wrote The Key in English. And then I found out, gee, I can have this translated. Here's another message. I can reach another audience, not just the English-speaking population, but the Spanish-speaking population as well. So, and the feedback I've gotten from parents and grandparents on The Key, I'm hoping that I can get the same type of response on Clave, from the Spanish-speaking population as well, parents and grandparents. But I think there is a message. I'm working right now with a couple schools here in the area, working as a mentor with some students. So I'm hoping that's going to help promote the Spanish version, because they said, I'm glad you did it in Spanish too. So I'm hoping that they will take ahead and obtain the Spanish version as well as the English version. I'm all excited. I know sometimes have to wait and be patient in what you're doing, but in the long run, it's going to be worth it. So I'm happy to be a part of the whole journey with I Have Something to Say press, and you two persons.
Oh,
thank you. I really am a believer that people meet for a reason, and they meet at the right time.
Amen.
And I really consider both of you a blessing for us. So I'm really happy that we were able to do this together.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
now, I love that both of your books have very specific audiences that you want to help. And, when Marjorie was talking, Bineta, I thought about some of the things that I wanted to ask you about the audiences that you help. Can you tell us a little bit about the philanthropic work that you're doing to help people in your area and also in Senegal?
Yeah, thank you, Sherry, for that question. Yes, philanthropy. I started to do this work at the age of 8. So I was helping people, women especially, because when my father passed, I was 4. And my mom was a single mom of 5, never had a job, never went to school, and supposed to support all her children. The youngest was 6 months old, and the oldest was 10 years old. So it was very tough. So, and I was very close to my mom, but no matter what we were going through, she was always focusing on how to help the children in the street. And so I was following her whenever she's cooking for those kids. That was my excitement day. That was a Sunday. So every Sunday she will cook a lot of food for the kids, and I picked that up from her, and I just took it a little bit further in the neighborhood, cooking every single Sunday, and I got excited. So years later, the thing was I was asking for God to help me so I can do more. Always, that was my prayers was, please God, help me so I can help more people. So when I got the visa to come to the United States of America, I cried because I was looking for money. I was like, God, how am I asking you for money to help these people, and you give me a visa? Now I'm leaving. Who's gonna help them? So that was, the thoughts I have. Small-minded, person thinking about money. Then I came to the United States of America, and I realized that I have to find myself first. To help people, you have to know yourself first. So that's that awareness that was missing. So everything I was doing, the awareness of who I am, the potential I have, I think that's what God gave me by giving me that visa. So, and I came here and I found the Skid Row, a street full of homeless people. The first person I talked to at the Skid Row was a single mom of 2. There is a story in my book about that lady. And that's when I started to feed the homeless people. And that's what I'm still doing here in Los Angeles, still helping women and children in Senegal. But I took the money part on the side and deal with the woman on the mindset part, because they can do it themselves. I don't have to give them money like before what I was doing, because this is what was missing, letting them know that they are powerful human beings that can do stuff by themselves. So that's the part I'm doing right now. And it's so excited seeing people transforming themselves, believing in themselves, believing that they can do it and the money will come. So that's the exciting part of this journey. And I thank God for being here. That's what I'm grateful for. Coming to the United States of America to find my way, to find myself. Leaving my family, it's a big family. Leaving my family to be here by myself, there was a reason for that. And that's what I appreciate the most. Yeah.
Well, I love that both of you have, the topics are completely different, but what you do, the core of what both of you do is the same. And it's, you know, what a perfect launch for your books. And we've been honored to work with you and continue to work with you. And, you know, it's been an honor. So thank you, ladies.
Same here. That's one thing that I identify with both of you was the fact that I also came here leaving so many people and so many things behind. And I was able to create a life and get to know myself and find my purpose. And at the same time, discover just how much I could do for myself and for others. And the fact that both of you, Marjorie and Bineta, are so giving and have such purpose, a noble purpose of helping others, that it has made this not only an honor, but a pleasure to be working with you. And I really think that there's many good things to come for everybody that gets your message and everybody that gets to meet you. So
thank you.
I'm very honored and happy to have been able to try to help you and get your message out there.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you. Yes.
Absolutely. So, well, thank you, ladies, for joining us today and sharing a little bit about you and your books, and to learn actually more about our publishing process and our first two books, Becoming an Angel of Change by Bineta Ngom and La Clave by Marjorie Anderson. I always want to say the key, but that too. Yeah. Visit IHaveSomethingToSayPress.com. And if you have any questions, you can email either me at admin@readerviews.com or Susan at admin@IHaveSomethingToSayPress.com.
I also want to say that the books are available now everywhere where they sell books, especially online in Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and I Have Something to Say Press. And I'm sure that if you go to Amazon, you get all contact information, as well as I Have Something to Say Press for the authors, which I'm sure they will be so grateful if you reach them for speaking events, especially virtual. And so they're all available now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys take care. Love you guys.
Thank you. Thank you all. Bye.
Bye.
Nice.
Bye.
Yeah.